You're never alone in life when you have a journal. Love, encouragement, comfort, and clarity accompanies every pen if we allow it to, if we have the patience to form a connection with our inner voice. We've all heard that journaling has been said to have many benefits for mental health, stress management, and self-esteem. There's something about writing and connecting with our inner emotions that bring us to a state of calm. Journaling is a mindful activity that forces us to go inward and slow down, to seek solace in our hearts. And it's my favorite way to reconnect with my own heart and gain clarity. I would not be here on YouTube if it were not for journaling. I would not have an ounce of confidence in life or myself if it weren't for this daily habit. And the amazing thing about journaling is that it doesn't take long to do. It's a short and easy activity, and yet it can change your life. So why don't we all do it? Fear. Fear of examining our inner world. Fear of confronting our emotions. Fear of not being a good enough writer. A fear of sounding stupid. And a fear of the truth. Instead of confronting, we escape. We numb ourselves out to avoid the truth. It's much easier to avoid something than to acknowledge its presence. The only way to combat that fear is love. To love your inner storyteller. To gently cradle the softness of the artist within. The next time you put off journaling or writing, call it for what it is. Call it by its name. This is fear talking. But I am choosing to reconnect with my purity of heart through creation, by creating. Keeping a journal will change how you see the world and yourself. It can spark confidence, a belief in oneself that wasn't ever there before. It can turn your mood around and inspire you with new ideas, and it can remind you to dream again. So, because I love journaling so much, and it's such a huge part of my life and what has made me a happy and appreciative person as a result, I wanted to share some tips with you for getting started with journaling. The main way that I like to write every day is stream of consciousness style, meaning I just free write. I write whatever comes from the heart. I don't have an objective in mind. I am not rereading my words. This is something I really encourage anyone who really wants to dive deep into journaling and just to develop that trust with yourself, with your voice, with your intuition. Just start writing whatever is on your mind. Whatever thoughts jump into your mind, just write it down. Don't worry about punctuation. Don't worry about what your handwriting looks like. And don't reread it either. I have a journaling practice where I journal every morning first thing when I wake up. So I do some silent meditation, I pull a tarot card, I light a candle, light some incense, sit in silence for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I pull out my journal and just start free writing. One thing I've noticed that I consistently do with my journaling every morning is that the topics jump around all the time, constantly. I'll be journaling about one area of life and then I'll suddenly switch to another, and the minute my attention or my interest changes, I flow with that, and I don't try to segue it or rationalize, why am I writing about this? You know, why is this important? Who cares about this? The reason why I love journaling so much is because I'm not restricted or restrained from speaking whatever is on my heart. If I want to write a song, I write a song. If I want to write a creative, abstract poem, I do that. If I want to write a little creative fantasy short story from a dream that I had the night before,
I write a little piece of short fiction. If I want to write about just what I'm feeling or what my goals are for the day or just a little to-do list, I do that. There is nothing that is putting the writing or my voice in a box. I am free to express whatever needs to be expressed. By having this routine, this habit of consistently allowing myself to express how I want to express myself, to feel whatever it is I want to feel, and to jump around and change whenever I feel like doing so, I've established this deep trust with myself. Start by taking small daily actions. Simply showing up to your journal first thing in the morning with your morning cup of coffee. Have your journal out, a favorite pen, and make it fun. Make it exciting. Pick out a journal and a pen that really lights you up and makes you feel excited to come to it. Maybe you've got some highlighters, or maybe it's a type of watercolor journal where you can highlight and watercolor paint with your journal. Maybe you like bullet journaling and you like to design the layout of your journal page every single day. Whatever it is that you like to do, whatever kind of journaling style that you like, just start to show up to it every day. Make it a daily habit by taking those baby steps, whether it's writing a paragraph every day or writing a page every day. I find journal prompts can be very helpful for those of you who are not used to journaling or you find it's really difficult. Some journaling prompts that I really love are things like, how can I be kinder to myself? How can I practice more patience in my life or with myself? What do I forgive myself for? And then another thing you could write about is, what are the things that are really interesting to you right now? Like, what are the things that are capturing your interest or your attention or that energize you or excite you? What are the things that you want to learn about right now, that day, that week? And write down a list. If you're not used to journaling, I highly recommend using prompts or a gratitude journal. Keeping your own gratitude journal is really great for starting your journaling practice. I've also included a free PDF with my favorite journal prompts, and I'll include it down below in the link in the description if you'd like to download that for free. One thing that I find is really important for journaling is to have separate journals, separate notebooks for different topics. And I recommend having 3 different journals for 3 different things. I recommend having a main journal, which is for free writing or stream of consciousness style. This is one of my favorite journals that I've ever owned. I'm so sad that it's finished. I filled it already, but it's from Papier. I'll include a link down below if you'd like to get a journal for yourself, but I recommend having a journal, a main journal that's just for free writing. So writing stream of consciousness, whatever's on your mind, just putting it in the main journal that you have every day and every morning when you wake up. The other journal I recommend having is a dream journal. Not the dream journal where you're sleeping, and if you do dream a lot and you remember your dreams first thing in the morning, I recommend having one of those too. That would be like a separate 4th journal. But the main dream journal is writing your dreams down, like writing the things that you desire in life, the things that you dream about having or doing or seeing. I also really recommend not restricting your dreams. Not thinking that you're dreaming too big or that you're dreaming too small or that anything is off limits for yourself. Just allow yourself to feel and want whatever it is you want and honor that and accept that and own how you feel. And so having a dream journal is really great for that. I love to use this for new moons as well, like writing down my new moon intentions, the things I'm calling into my life in that season. My current dream journal that I'm using is actually a new moon little journal here. It's really small, really thin, but every new moon I like to write down a little intention for that season of life, lists of places I want to see, places I want to travel to, experiences I want to have. Most of the dreams I have in my dream notebook are really just experiences and places I want to see. But for whatever it is you want in life, in that specific chunk of time, write it down. Write down and be specific about it. Be as specific as you want. Don't limit yourself. And then the 3rd journal is a gratitude journal. I like to gratitude journal in a spiral bound notebook. I don't know, there's something about just being able to turn the page and then just write a little list of things that I'm really grateful for in the morning. But a gratitude journal is really great, especially for when you're about to go to sleep at night. This is something that can really help with sleeplessness, or if you have insomnia, or if you just find that late at night your mind is going in spirals and it's kind of hard to notice the simple joys or the blessings when you're tired and your resistance is low from a very long day. I find that having a gratitude journal that's strictly for all the things that you're specifically grateful for, it's really nice to write that down before you go to sleep, get yourself in a nicer headspace. And also, you can also reread your pages and see all the beautiful things that you're so grateful for in this earthly existence, and have it all in a notebook so you can always revisit it anytime you want. I also just want to mention that expressing gratitude or writing down the things that you're appreciative of in life, or noticing the simple joys and really honoring and being observant of these things, I really don't believe that there's any force with that. I think that when we try to force gratitude, or when we try to constantly be in a happy place and to be appreciative when we're sad, I don't think that's really healthy, honestly. And I think we should allow ourselves to feel however it is we want to feel. And if we're going through a really hard time in life, don't force yourself to notice the simple joys. Like, don't force yourself to write gratitude appreciation lists. Just allow yourself to be there. So having those 3 journals, right? A dream journal, a gratitude journal, and then a main free write journal. These are the things that I would really recommend having, these 3 on hand.
My next tip is to lead with your natural enthusiasm. Treat your journaling practice like a play date. The thing about creativity is that it stems from a place of softness within, from passion. So how can you make your journaling practice more exciting for yourself? I love to play classical music when I'm writing, to listen to chants and music. I love to light incense on my yoga mat first thing when I wake up. Sitting cross-legged, I open my journal and I gaze at a warm candle flame. And I allow my gaze and my heart to soften. The process of journaling is meant to be fun, so make it playful. How can you make it more fun for yourself? Journal your resistance and your resentments. Put it on the page. Acknowledge and own how you feel about everything in life. Every tiny, significant thing, whether you think it's significant or not. Before this soft, creative storyteller within you can emerge, we must air whatever blocks are stored up within us. Scribble your emotions, ecstatically happy or quietly sad. Give it to the page. Surrender your fears to the pen.
One thing I really recommend you try with your journaling practice is to own and acknowledge your resentment and your resistance to journaling. Own your feelings. Own whatever thoughts or emotions that you're feeling and pour it out to the page. Often in the times when I am most sad or grieving or angry, the scribbles of the pen, the words, they change. When I'm sad, my writing gets smaller and tiny, and when I'm angry, I scribble and my words get really big and really messy. When I'm feeling really confident and content while journaling, I notice that my handwriting gets very big and very loose and a nice cursive. So, allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling and allow your handwriting to take you in that direction. Simply acknowledging your resistance, your fears, and your emotions, and allowing yourself to write whatever it is you want to write about. And that brings me to my next point, which is to write to your inner voice, or your intuition, or to God, or to source, or to a higher power, or to whatever it is that is this invisible force. Whatever it is, write to that. Commune with it. This is something that I've written about at length on my blog. If you want to see my blog posts on journaling and writing, or how I started connecting with my intuition, I'll include some blog posts down below in the description. This is a practice that I developed as a little kid. I learned how to depend on myself and how to depend on my own inner voice for guidance and clarity and answers when I was having a really hard time. There's also an amazing book called Conversations with God. I'll include a link down below if you'd like to check it out. It's one of my favorite books, but I read it a year ago actually, and what he talks about is exactly the kind of information that I get when I'm journaling too. And Every single one of us has the ability to tap into this psychic ability, this knowingness, this claircognizant ability to know things without being able to explain why, to sense things, to have those gut knowing feelings. But the problem is, a lot of us don't want to trust that. We often don't journal because we're afraid that our thoughts are not good enough, that our words are not interesting enough, that our emotions and our desires are not worthy of being written on the page. And when we can first realize that and recognize that that is our own self-limiting belief, and it's not reality, it's something that the mind has created and started playing and looping in our minds, that's the first step. Surrender your fear to the page. Surrender those fears and those worries to the pen. For me in my own life, I never feel alone because I have my journal. I never feel alone at all in life because I have a pen. I have a page. And there's something really magical about not needing to depend or rely on anyone to make you feel safe, to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel secure in your life. Everyone else is off the hook. It's no one else's job in life to make me happy or to make me feel comfortable or good or supported or confident. That's me. That's my job. And I am the only person that can give that to myself.
I hope you enjoyed this video on journaling and how to get started with a journaling practice. If journaling is a topic that interests you, let me know down below in the comments and I will make some videos if it's of interest to you guys. I hope you have a magical, magical day, kindred spirit, and I'll see you next time here on my channel.